Great day, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great morning so far. It is 7:06 a.m. Central Standard Time on this wonderful Wednesday. So, I will not be before you long. I wanted to come on to talk about a little organizational health. As some of you may know, I am a best selling author, I'm a life coach, certified belief therapist, and organizer. So I have implemented organization into my practice. It's like the foundation of it because I understand the importance of being organized. And you can have a healthy life if it's an organized life. So I just wanted to come on and just kind of run through the whole process of organization. If you need further help with this, of course, you can reach out to me. My platforms are listed on the banner here. Just send me a message and we could take it a step further. But organizationally healthy. Okay, because I am a firm believer that an organized life is a healthy life. And here's why. Because there is a direct link between your mental space and your physical space. And you cannot foster healing where there's clutter. That's it. That's the live. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, but you cannot foster healing where there's clutter at all. Um, I've done action plans for people who had to have surgeries and they wanted to make sure that everything was set up and already prepared for them once they came home, because even they knew, they didn't realize they knew, but even they knew, I don't need the house a wreck when I come home to try to recuperate from my surgery. It's very, very important, because what happens is it causes stagnancy. Everything is energy, you guys. Everything. I don't care what anyone says, everything is energy. So if you have a bunch of stuff just laying around that you're not using, oh my God, don't let it be broken. That is creating stagnant energy in your space, and then that can create it within you. So if you are unable, if you have a project to work on and you can't even think straight, it's probably because of the stuff that's around you. And you need to go through the organization process. And a lot of us think that organized clutter is a thing. No, it doesn't matter how clean the space is. It doesn't matter how you have them all, everything boxed up in cute little boxes with name tags on them. If it's in a space and that's not the intent for it, it's clutter. So if you work in an office, like this is my office, and if I was using a bedroom as my office, then that bed would be considered clutter, because the intended purpose of the room was to be an office, not a bedroom. So if you're the type of person, and not saying that everyone can do this, because some people, you got to do what you got to do. But if you notice you get sleepy every time you go in your office, it's probably because of the bed and the energy. And yeah, your mind and the energy that's flowing in there is like, oh, it's time to go to sleep, girl. It ain't time to work. You got this bed right here behind you. So we have to be mindful of that. And I do have notes. I'll be reading from my notes. But as I stated, clutter is an expression of stagnancy. There's no way around it. Point, period. Point blank, period. Clutter is an expression of stagnancy. So take note of how your living space is. Take note of how your workspace, because even at work, if you got a cubicle or whatever, however you got that set up at work, if you're not working from home, then just pay attention to the clutter, and then pay attention to how you feel throughout the day, and you'll be able to make that link as well. I remember before I even certified in all this stuff and gained the knowledge that I have, I would remember whenever I would just go through something emotionally like a setback. I remember even back then, the first thing I would do is clear out clutter. Isn't that something? Like, this was a long time ago. I've been doing this for years. Like, anyone, Anyone in my family, anyone that knows me knows my child's father, it used to annoy him because he's like, what are you doing? Every time I come in here, you rearranging furniture and throwing stuff away. What are you? He didn't understand. I didn't quite get it, but I knew how it made me feel. And I just wasn't about to explain it. So yeah, I used to do that. Anytime I would experience some type of setback emotionally, I was dealing with something, I would always clean up, declutter, definitely declutter, and then kind of rearrange things. I did. And now today I understand why. So, so how's your clutter? Do you have clutter? Why do you have clutter? And how has that clutter hindered you? Are you the person that's always late because you can't find anything? It's hindering you. That's a hindrance. And then I noticed too that we have to find different names for stuff. The junk drawer in the kitchen should be your utility drawer, because as long as you keep speaking that it's junk, it's going to remain junky. When I stop using that word, my drawer is now a utility drawer, and you can go in there right now and it's very neat. And it's been like that for a while. So also in naming stuff, make sure you're not giving it names that's just going to continuously speak onto you what you don't want. I have had clients who started with their closets and they tell me they sleep better just because their closet is decluttered. Yeah, but because that is a benefit. You will sleep better. You will gain more clarity. You'll be able to think. Your mind won't be bogged down with so much junk, the junk that's around you. So declutter one room at a time. You have to, because before you can organize something, hear me out here, you have to declutter, because you can't organize clutter. So go throughout your home. Just start at one room at a time. One room at a time, and start the process. So I have some notes written down, kind of walk you through the process. I'm not sure how long this is going to be, but we're not going to be long. So as I stated before, clutter is an expression of stagnancy, an abundance of unused, unloved, broken objects is a direct reflection of what's taking place internally. And that is the thing that we don't want to accept as well. Whatever is going on internally, externally, it's going to be on display. There's no way of getting around that. That is what it is. It's going to be on display externally. So I don't care how many people say, oh, my house is junky, girl, because I don't like to clean up. You don't like to clean up in here either, obviously. So yeah, it's a direct reflection of what's going on internally. Absolutely. Because if you're cluttered mentally, emotionally, even in your diet, I can see it. So that is why I can walk into someone's home and immediately sometimes tell, okay, girl, come on, sit down. What's going on? And they always like, well, what you mean? Yes, it is. Come on, girl, sit down. Yeah. This show, it's called Hoarders. I don't know if the show still comes on or not. You saw their homes. You saw when the counselor came in, they had experienced some trauma. So what they were experiencing internally reflected externally, because they started piling up and keeping stuff, and it just got out of control. I'll never forget the last show I watched. This woman, she got the call that her son died while she was reading the newspaper. Guess what she had hoarded in the house? Stacks of newspaper. In the room where she was sitting when she got the call, it started there. I think he had a room because he was living there, if I'm not mistaken. And before you know it, it's all over the house. Don't tell me what's going on internally. It's not displayed externally. All right. So clutter. Clutter creates habitual feelings, behaviors, relationship patterns, repetitive thoughts, attachments, just said that, fears, and other forms of low stuck energy. Because everything I just said is low stuck energy, and you have to vibrate higher. If something is causing you to, for your vibrations to fall and you get low and stuck, you need to detach quickly. Okay. And remember, energy, emotions, I'm sorry, is energy in motion. So it has to flow, it has to move. When you suppress it, you're causing the stagnation. It has to flow, it has to move. You want to organize emotionally, get a journal. If you don't want to go to counseling, you don't want to go to therapy, get a journal. Okay. Go get a canvas and start painting. Record yourself talking about what you're going through and play it back to you. Whatever you need to do, get it out and let it flow. All right. So if you find yourself feeling tired, overwhelmed, or depressed when you're home, in your workspace, even in your vehicle, check your clutter. That's what I should have named this. Check your clutter. If you find yourself feeling like that in any of those spaces, check your clutter. Because when I start feeling tired all of a sudden, that's usually my go-to. Like, hold on, let me see what's in this office that needs to go. It gotta go. It gotta get out of here quickly. Because this not, no, I have to work in here. We're not doing this. I have to write in here because I'm an author. Okay. We're not doing this. So yeah, check your clutter. Clutter drains you of the very energy you need to heal, rejuvenate, and restore yourself. This is what clutter does. It will drain you of the essential things that you need to restore yourself. We're going to do away with the clutter, y'all. We got to do away with the clutter. So when you want to go in a space and declutter, I kind of wrote down my process and a few tips here. When you want to declutter, the first thing you have to do is have a made up mind that you're going to start and stick with this process. Made up mind. Look, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. We about to get this thing done. And then once you do that, spend some time. I know this sounds weird, but spend a little time with the clutter to see what feelings are evoked. Because sometimes we have attachments to things and we need to get to the root of the attachment. Because if you don't, it's going to be hard for you to throw anything away or give it away or whatever you're going to do. So and then some of these attachments are weird and they're not good. You may have a sweater grandma knitted for you and you will not let that sweater go. But you'll admit that grandma was abusive. So why are you holding on to this sweater from this person that abused you? Those attachments right there. That's what we need. That's what we need to work on. And I would actually I would advise counseling if you got attachments like that. Because some people do have attachments to their abusers. How many people have been in relationships with mentally, physically, emotionally, verbally abusive men, yet you won't get rid of that stuff they bought you? I'll wait. So that stuff needs to be dealt with. Because I actually wrote a blog about releasing and healing. Because when I end a relationship, and this just me, I'm getting rid of that stuff. I don't want the attachment. I don't want the energy around me. Like I don't want another man's energy around me or anything that he purchased me when I'm in a process of healing, processing and releasing whatever happened, whatever the breakdown was so that once I start dating again, I don't want any blocks. I don't want anything holding me back. And the thing we don't understand is people's energy lingers. So if you've been in 3 relationships within the last 5 years and you still have all their stuff, you still have all of them. Not to mention in the physical aspect, but if you had any type of intimacy with these people, they're still in your bloodstream too. But that's not what this broadcast is about. It's about decluttering. However, there is a way to declutter and detoxify. So yeah, moving right along. So you're going to figure out the feelings that are evoked when you spend time with the clutter. You're going to ask yourself, why do I have this clutter? And keep asking yourself until you get to the root. Basically, you're going to ask yourself why until you get to the very root of why you have the clutter. And then maybe that'll kind of open the door to help you move forward in getting rid of it or whatever. Because you can keep it, you can trash it, you can donate it. I wouldn't suggest keeping things with attachments from abusive people or bad situations that happen in your life. And here's why. Because that stuff is going to trigger you and it's going to send you spiraling emotionally until you get rid of it and then heal. So you're kind of setting yourself up for failure when you want to hold on to things from somebody. Just give it to somebody. Go take it to the Salvation Army or a thrift store or whatever. But you don't need it because you have a negative attachment to it. All right. So you're gonna purchase. Here are the items you'll need if you're gonna actually do this process. And I'm gonna run through this really quickly. I am an organizer, so if you need additional coaching with this, my handles are at the top of the banner. You'll need three big trash bags or bins or boxes, whatever. You need 3. You're going to need a timer. You're going to need music while you're doing this process. So have some music that gets you pumped and hyped. And then an essential oil diffuser. Preferably put some lavender in there. Have that diffusing while you're going through this process because lavender is good for depression. All right. So you're going to label your bins, trash bags, or you put a label on the wall in the hallway because you don't want to bring the stuff in the room that you're decluttering. Put a label on the wall right over the bins or right over the boxes or right over the trash bags, whatever you choose to use. And you're going to label keep, give away, unsure, and donate. I'm sorry, you need 4. Keep, give away, unsure, donate. The unsure box. When you pick up something and you can't make a decision on it really fast, because we don't want to waste time, just throw it in the unsure box and you're going to store that box outside in the storage for like 6 months. And within 6 months, you're going to set that timer in your phone, that reminder. In 6 months, if you can't even remember what's in that box because you're not going to open it, you need to go ahead and take it to the Salvation Army. All right, so that's what the unsure box is for. So you're going to set your timer for 30 minutes each day for the process. Just 30 minutes a day. Place the boxes close to the area you're decluttering, but not in the area. And without thinking too much, pick up the item and toss them in a labeled bin. If you think too much, it needs to just put it in the unsure box. And make sure the unsure box or bag or whatever is something that you can seal, tape down, and store for later. And you can even write the date on it, that 6-month date. So whatever 6 months from the day you're doing this, write that date on the outside. And like I said, when that phone goes off 6 months later and you can't even remember what's in that box, you need to take that and throw it out to Salvation Army or wherever you're going to take it. And keep a steady rhythm until you've finished the entire space. If you're doing your whole house, then yeah, you would do one space at a time, 30 minutes a day. And you'll be surprised at how much you'll get done in 30 minutes. Now, we'll give you this tip. If you have a lot of paper in the area, you need to do the paper last. Just put all the paper in the middle of the floor And what you're going to do is you're going to start with the corner. You probably can't see the corner of my office. You're going to start, see that corner right there? Like start right there in the corner and just make your way all the way around until you're back at the door. Because you don't want to come in the middle. No, start in a corner and go all the way around. Don't come in the middle with the decluttering process. And you're going to pick up the items, not thinking, look, don't think too long because you're going to think wrong, okay? And if it's something that's obviously broke, because I know how we love broke stuff. Oh, but I like this picture, but it's broke. Throw it out. And unless you can take it somewhere like maybe Hobby Lobby or Michael's, one of them stores, I don't know, can reframe stuff. Now, if you're going to do that, do it and then put it on the wall where it goes, but it shouldn't go back in the corner. All right. So, and here's another note. While decluttering, if you pick up an item and there is an immediate delay or confusion, where did I say that goes? The unsure box immediately. All right. And then, like I said before, the unsure box should go into storage. Now, I put on my notes 4 to 6 months, but I usually do mine for 6 months. That's just me. It depends. It depends on you. Because you may not remember what's in the box after a month, but give yourself longer than that. And then after that period, if you can't recall what's in it, give it away without opening it. Don't open it. Just give it away. Don't open it. And I use the 2-year rule. So anytime I am, because every now and then I will go through my purses, my shoes, my clothes, and all that every so often. And I use the 2-year rule. So if I have not worn it or used it in 2 years, I'm going to give it away if it's in good condition, and I'm going to trash it if it's not. And that's something else we need to do. Stop giving people stuff that's not in good condition. Throw that stuff in the trash. Don't even take that to Salvation Army. Don't even take that to the thrift store. If this stuff got big holes in it, why are you giving that to somebody? Throw that away. If the coffee pot handle broke, what you giving that to somebody for? Throw that away. Don't give anybody any damaged stuff. Just throw it away. But if you have stuff that's in good condition that you know you're not using and you know someone else could benefit from it, give it to them. Give it to them, okay? So like I said, if you need further help on this process, because I know a lot of us like to say they're going to organize something, but they skip all over the decluttering process, then reach out to me. Because once you finish your spaces, once you finish decluttering, what you're going to do next is clean it up. Even if you hire someone to come clean the room up, I wouldn't suggest that because you can do it yourself. The next step would be to get it clean. Then after it's clean and smelling all fresh and your lavender essential oils is, just have everything so calming and relaxing. It's clean. Okay, so set the intention for the room. And once you set the intention for the room, go back to that box of keep stuff and everything that's in that box that's going to be conducive to the intention you set for that room. Then you bring that back in here and decorate it and organize. But if it's a basketball and this is not the storage room, that don't need to be in here. If it's a hair dryer and this is not your beauty room, that does not need to be in there. Only put things in there based on the intention you set for the room. And voila, you have a decluttered, organized space. Hope you guys have enjoyed this segment on organizational help. And until next time, have a great day.